My picked theme for this evening, and I did not pick it based on Thanksgiving. I just picked a theme, and it's because I had a lot of it, and it is Tobacciana. Now, before you turn off the video, it is going to cover a lot of areas that are ancillary to that, and some of the items can be used for more than just smoking related items, but they all do still have a theme, and that is what I am going to be starting with. And I'm starting with one of the coolest items in the collection.
Well, if you got a dollar, won't just lousy down. You know that I got rhythm that could suit your budget fine.
Hey, this is Patrick with Trusty Mercantile, and welcome to my channel. And welcome to the Thanksgiving Day edition of the Drop Sale Hop, sponsored and hosted by Beth from Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties. Thanks to Beth for asking me to participate in this day's festivities. Hopefully by the time you're watching this video, you've had your fill of family and you're looking for an escape, and I am happy to provide it to you. If you're following these in order, I'm actually relatively late in the cycle. So if you're catching mine first, do make sure you go into the description of the video and catch some of the drop sales that have dropped earlier this evening. I'm sure you'll still find some great items still available. And when you're done with this video, make sure you hop over to Reclaimed Treasures by Mary. She will be doing her video, will drop at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're running mine at per the time it's scheduled to run at 8 p.m. Eastern, you'll be able to jump from mine to hers, and then I think there's one or two after that as well. But go into the description of this video and you will see the full list. Also in the description will be instructions of how to claim items for my sale. Relatively straightforward. Just recognize that this is not live. I cannot hear you or see anything in a live chat. It will be only, it's pre-recorded, and you will need to claim items in the comments, not the live chat. So make sure you pop out into the comments to claim anything. Also, when you are claiming, one of the things I noticed is I changed back to numbers. The letters were causing things to spam out. You might want to put something like, I'll take number whatever. Make it more of a statement as opposed to just throwing the number in, because that, I think, is confusing YouTube thinking it's spam. So just keep that in mind for mine. It's probably for some of the other videos as well. Better safe than sorry. A couple things got missed last time I did this because I did not see those go into spam. So with that said, again, look at the description for additional details for how to claim. I'm shipping out of Chicago. We're going to get started. My picked theme for this evening, and I did not pick it based on Thanksgiving. I just picked a theme, and it's because I had a lot of it, and it is Tobacciana. Now, before you turn off the video, it is going to cover a lot of areas that are ancillary to that, and some of the items can be used for more than just smoking related items, but they all do still have a theme, and that is what I am going to be starting with. And I'm starting with one of the coolest items in the collection. They're technically a set of ashtrays, but they are for, you know, the good old days of the Bridge Club. It is a little porcelain dish with all of the suits painted on the outside, and 4 dishes on the inside with the Jack of Spades, Queen of Hearts, King of Diamonds, and Ace of Clubs. It is this absolutely amazing little dish that holds those 4. So you can use those for nuts, you can use them for coins, you can use them for just about anything, but they all do stack together. It's just a super sweet piece. It is stamped on the bottom. It's made in Japan. I don't recognize the logo, but it's just a beautiful piece in beautiful condition. No chips, no cracks. This gilding is still on the edges, and you can have that item, the full set with its stacking dish, for $20 by giving me number 90. I have other ashtrays, but again, ashtrays can be used for other things. This one I picked up initially, if you know I have a thing for coasters, I'd pick this up, I thought, to use as a coaster, but if you look at the bottom of it, it's not entirely flat, so it actually, when I put a drink in it, it didn't really sit very well. So it could be used as an ashtray, or it could just be used as a pin dish or anything like that, but I'm stretching the definition of Tobacciana to include this. I absolutely love it. He looks like he is in a World War I era uniform, so you know, we're looking at a true antique of the way this is designed. There's a little bit of age to it. You can see there's a couple scratches across the face there, and it has been bent. I tried to straighten it out as best I can. So you can see with the reflection, there's a little bit of it's just a lightweight, tin material. So it's not had the best life in its 100 years, but that's what just gives you a great price, because you can have this little dish for $5 by giving me number 74, $5.74 for the little dish. Similarly, this is probably not an ashtray, but I'm going to include it in this because it is the Elizabeth Jubilee. This is her Diamond Jubilee from 2012. It is just a little pin dish, could be an ashtray, so I'm including it as part of the Tobacciana sale. So again, even though you may not think you like Tobacciana, you can drift into the definitions. And this is just a great little dish that you can use as an ashtray, pin dish, coin dish, whatever you'd like. It's also $5 and it is number 80. And then I also have a glass top hat ashtray. It does have the little holders here on the side to be able to hold the cigarettes, but ignore those and you, again, have something to hold coins. You've got something to hold, you can put taller items in there, small, short hat pins, whatever you want to put in here. Relatively small, the ring diameter on the bottom, slightly smaller diameter in the top. So you wouldn't really be able to put sugar packets or anything in there. That's items coming up in a little bit. But you can hold a lot of small things just on your dresser, on your bathroom. Your Q-tips would look cute in here. Super small, great item, great condition. $8 by giving me number 72. So those are the quote-unquote ashtrays that I have part of my sale. If you're familiar with the one of the related items that I collect myself, I do not smoke, have never smoked, but I do have a collection of cigarette cards, and I actually am selling a couple cigarette cards as part of this themed sale this evening. So cigarette cards, if you're not familiar with them, you can go to I did a deep dive with Joni from Vintagerous a couple of years ago, and we talked a lot about these. She also has a collection. This happens to be a collection of The Race into Space. All cigarette cards, well, I'm not gonna say all, but most of the ones that I come across, they are done as a theme, and there is a series available because the concept of these were originally used when the cigarette packs were soft-sided, so this gave a little bit of rigidity to them. But the idea is you had to keep buying the same brand because if you wanted to finish the set, you had to keep buying the cigarettes. Now, admittedly, the ones I grabbed first, these happen to be T cards. So I'm just going to still call them cigarette cards, but technically we're, again, a step away. But this is a collection of 39 cards out of a series of 50. So this is not a full set, but it is a collection of 39 of them. And I'll just kind of show some of the images. All of these, I've got a little album. I collect the ones that have porcelain images and museum images on them. But these are all themed for the race in space. These look fantastic individually framed. You can get those little 2-inch by 3-inch business card size frames. These look fantastic framed individually, or just float them on a piece of black velvet. The artwork is super cool, particularly these, because there's so much of the artwork is actually black with that bright white border. So there are 39 of these. They were issued in 1971, so these are a little bit later than traditional cigarette cards, but again, kind of stretching my definition of Tobacciana. These are available, all 39. You get the collection that I have here, all 39 of them for $15 by giving me number 45. $15, number 45 for the Race into Space themed cards. And now for the ones I should have grabbed first, because these are closer to the theme. These are actual cigarette cards. These are from Wings Cigarettes. Did a little bit of digging. The Wings Cigarettes Company was founded in 1929, and this collection of, did it have a name? Well, they're planes. So it kind of goes along the lines of their name of the company, Wings. Actually, it doesn't look like the series itself was named, but this is Liaison, Long Range Bomber, Fighter, Night Fighter, Basic Trainer, Advanced Trainer, Bomber Transport, Light Bomber. Now, some of these have a little bit of condition issues, so these are going to be priced a little bit lower, but these are also older. So from what I can tell, one place claimed they came out in 1940. I'm not sure based on all of these because what I have is Series B and Series C. So I will just say they probably came out in the 40s because I don't know if they started in 1940, but they're all basically war themed with airplanes of, age of your, older than that. So primarily planes from the 30s and 40s. So these are from Wing Cigarettes. There are a total of 54 of these. I think each set had 50, and I have some from Series B and some from Series C. So between the two, I have 54 of these, but a couple of them have some condition issues. You might even see some of them have a little bit of discoloration on them. They're older, they're showing their wear, so they're a little bit cheaper. I'm making this entire set of 54 are available for only $20, and they get that by giving me number 53. $20, number 53 for the 54 cards in the Wings cigarette series. The last set of cigarette cards I have, I'm kind of doing a little bundle package. These are firefighter themes, and I will include this sleeve since I got them in the sleeve. I'll go ahead and include them, so you will get a little 3-ring binder display sleeve. But that's what you can store these in. They're great to be able to show because you can see the cards on the front and the descriptions on the back. So these are from 1930. These are for John Players and Sons. I did a little bit of digging into the set. They're called firefighting appliances. And you can see they're all old fire equipment, firefighting equipment. The last set that I found sold on eBay in 2017 for $90. That was for the full set of 50. And there's currently a full set of 50 listed on eBay right now for $120. I am selling 36. So I do not have the full series, but I have 36 of them. So I'm selling 36 cards, and here's where the theme comes in. I also happen to have this book, Dennis Smith's History of Firefighting in America. It is actually a first edition book printed in, printed in 1978. And so it gives the history, the very first reported fire. There's illustrations of older fires. Of course, Chicago fire is in here. It is basically 300 years of courage. So I just think at this point, this would end up being a gift, a perfect gift. If you happen to know a firefighter, first responder, EMT, anything in that vein, this would just make a great, fun gift for someone that may not even know these types of things existed. These are just really cool little pieces of ephemera, and you consider they're almost 100 years old if they came out in 1930. And then the book is just really cool, and you've got a first edition book. So I am selling 36 cards with the book for less than $1 card each. It's $35 for everything by giving me number 54. So $35, number 54 for the book and the 36 cards. Now, staying with the ephemera theme and the fire theme, this was just kind of like, we're kind of stretching a little outside of Tobacciana, but we're doing the firefighter thing, so I extended into this. This is a series of 3 blotters that I have that are all for fire insurance companies. So we've got the home insurance company of New York, Fire Insurance, the Fire Association of Philadelphia, and this is actually a really cool one. This is the Westchester Fire Insurance Company of New York, and it's actually a multi-page blotter. These I am selling as the set for $10. You get all 3. So fire, we're not quite Tobacciana, but if you don't pay attention to your cigarettes, you'll set yourself on fire. So you need fire insurance. So a set of 3 antique, I would say most of these are antique. I think this is getting into much older than the 50s. This might be 50s or 60s. But anyway, you get all 3 of them for $10 by giving me number 41. So now staying with the ephemera and going back closer to the Tobacciana definition, I have a couple individual pieces that are just fun Morris display items. Again, these look great framed, just some individual advertising pieces. So this is a set of cigarette papers. So this is the Smoking Tobacco RJR, I guess that's Reynolds. Yeah, RJ Reynolds Tobacco Company. This actually has cigarette papers in it. You also have the Bugler, some great graphics on that one. Also has papers in it. And another RJR Reynolds one, black and gold OCB. This one is a little bit rougher condition. But all of these have cigarette papers in them. Again, fantastic. Happen to be Tobacciana, but are really just great graphic advertising pieces for a great display or for a vignette, just in any of those colors. You get all 3 of them as a set for only $10 by giving me number 85. So that's the cigarette papers for $10, number 85. One of the things that sometimes you come across, if you do pay attention to Tobacciana and ephemera, you'll find cigarette coupons. And if you ever wondered what those coupons are for, well, that's this next item. This is a 1953 Raleigh cigarettes coupon, or cigarette premium booklet. So these are the premiums that you could turn your coupons in for to get these items. So you could get a bathroom scale for 600 coupons. So this is 1953. So some of the graphics in here are just some great mid-century modern advertising. Look at that flat lay of all the tools that you could get. So you could get Stanley tools for 473 coupons, cookware, flatware, furniture. You know, it's just, it's the idea. I don't think people do this anymore, but you know, companies did this for a while. You keep buying from the same company, or like just the S&H green stamps are kind of the same idea, but you got them specifically for cigarettes. So it's just this great advertising piece with some great illustrations inside. The booklet is $6 by giving me number 47. So the premium coupon book, $6, number 47. A little bit also considered ephemera in the sense that ephemera is just things that were never designed to stick around. This is a little box of filters for a cigar. So you've got this small Medico filters for pipes and holders. There are actually still some in here, but look at the graphics on that black, the white, the red. Really small. Prop this up in a little vignette, add some color to something in your bathroom, your bedroom, your office. You know, you got it, you know, I don't want to say a masculine piece because anybody could use this, but it is just kind of a cool pipe related advertising item. $5 by giving me number 12. You also have a cigarette box. So this was from the Old Gold brand of cigarettes. It says right on here what they used to be. This held 50 cigarettes. But at this point, you just have a very nice box. You can put, you know, gift cards in here if you want to use this as a gift. You can store items in here. It's got nice rigid sides. The hinge is still completely intact, so it actually functions up and down. You know, from a historic perspective, it's got the tax stamps on there showing that this held 50 cigarettes when it was bought. Graphics on the outside are a little bit scratched, but on the inside, it's still looking beautiful. And it's kind of got like a suede kind of finish to it. I mean, it's paper, it's not leather or anything, but it just kind of has a brushed finish to it, which is kind of cool. So the Old Gold cigarette box is $5 as well by giving me number 52. And one of the popular areas of collecting, because again, the graphics are so fantastic, whether you smoke cigars or not, it is cigar labels. So these would have been the labels that are on the, sometimes at the top of the box, sometimes they're on the inside of the box or wrapped around the sides of the box. There's always different sizes. This one, someone has actually taken to the point of framing it. So it's got glass on the front, just paper on the back, and then some kind of like a gold or brass tape that was applied to the edges. I do not believe this is reversible. I guess if you scrape the tape off, maybe it would come off, but there is some sort of a paper back on the back and then a little hanger. So it's designed for instant art. You've got this great colorful cigar label already ready to go, hang on the wall. It's only $5 for the La Patura cigar label, $5 by giving me number 49. Now going back into my normal collecting items, these are coming from my personal collection, things that have been utilized or on display in my own home. The first one is actually, technically this is a humidor, is a Monte Cristo humidor, but it's missing the top. So it doesn't make much of a humidor if it doesn't seal anymore. But what this becomes is a great utensil holder. And I did use this as a utensil holder for a short time. It's tall, so you need tall utensils to stick in it. But you could hold all kinds of things, shove it underneath your bathroom sink, and you could put your toilet brushes in there. It's a nice heavy ceramic that is, I really wasn't able to date when these are actually made, but it's got the great Monte Cristo logo on there. And this was actually headed to my booth at my brick and mortar store, and it takes up a lot of space, but although it's relatively large, it'll be easy enough to ship. So it was $10 going into the booth, so I'm going to sell it $10 here by giving me number 63. So that's for the Monte Cristo humidor, utensil holder, however you want to use it. The other items were all on display, and when I did my show off your bunker challenge, I think some of these were in there at that point, but I've showcased them multiple times since then. They are technically cigarette holders, but this is, again, where you don't get scared off by the idea of Tobacciana. These cigarette holders can be used for all kinds of things. Again, they can be used in your bathroom for Q-tips. They can be almost, I think all of these, well, maybe one of them, you could use to put sugar packets. You could put tea bags, all kinds of things to just organize a coffee station. They're beautiful pieces of porcelain, all in perfect condition because they were from my own collection. So of course there's gonna be nothing but perfect condition. The first three are all $8 each. So you've got this cobalt one from East Germany, marked East Germany. It's $8, number 33. You've got a beautiful lavender violets porcelain one with this beautiful scallop design on the top with the gold trim. It is logoed and has the logo on the bottom. It is also $8, number 15 for the violets. And then the last one is actually a Rosenthal item. This is the one that's probably a little bit harder to use because it's circular. This would be a little bit harder to use for tea bags and for sugar packets, but could still be used for Q-tips. It could be held for anything. And I'm not 100% sure this was necessarily sold specifically as a cigarette holder, but that's kind of design. I do believe that's what it was sold for, but you could use it for whatever you want. You could use it as a tumbler. It's just a beautiful piece of Bavarian German porcelain. This one is actually marked with a name. It is, gotta put my glasses on, Colonial Rose, Veriflame Colonial Rose. And this is marked Germany. So it's also $8. It is number 34. So all of those were part of my collection, but then I also had 3 additional ones that are a little bit special, and so these are actually a little bit more expensive. The first one is a Dresden German piece. Check out the 3-dimensional florals on this one. So you've got this great design inside, again, wide enough to hold tea bags, sugar packets, whatever you want. Absolutely gorgeous workmanship made to this. Marked Dresden with the crown on the bottom. Absolutely fantastic. All of the leaves and the florals are in perfect condition. It is $15 by giving me number 38. The next one at a glance looks relatively straightforward. It's simple, another violets. It has a purple ground, some beautiful painting done to it. It's some dimensionality done on here. It is a made in Japan piece, but what makes this one special is it was actually a sample made for the original production. So when somebody had ordered this design, whether it was the porcelain manufacturer or sometimes department stores or larger retailers would commission pieces, this was the sample piece that was made. So it's in absolutely perfect condition. There is a little bit of a paper label on here, but I can't really tell what it said, but of the era, that's probably from the 30s when this was being approved. This, to me, I loved this as like a huckster piece that, somebody made this and it was made for production, but it needed to get signed off on before they made the rest of them. So there would not have been too many of these marked as sample, but I wasn't going to keep this as by itself in my collection. So this one's also $15. This one's number 23. So $15, 23 for the Japanese sample one. And then the last one is also Japan. It's got the M in the wreath for the Morimoto brothers, which became Noritake, but it's got this great hunt club design. So it's got a gentleman in full hunting kit on the horse with the hound dogs. It's a little bit taller than the other ones because it's footed, so you can kind of see the difference. This one, it's a little bit narrow for a deck of cards, unfortunately, but it looks like it should be perfect. So if you have a smaller deck of cards, it'd fit perfectly in here. It's just a beautiful piece with the Noritake, early Noritake label on it. So this is also $15, and this one is number 56. And those are the items that I've got for my drop sale. So I hope you've had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you are enjoying going through Beth's drop sale hop, that she's organized here with all of her friends and my friends as well here on Thanksgiving Day. Again, if you have not been watching the videos prior to mine, go into the description of this video and you'll see all of the other videos who participated. If you're watching mine in quote unquote real time, again, remember, I am not live. This is pre-recorded, but this should be finishing in time for 8:30 p.m. Eastern, which is when Mary from Reclaimed Treasures by Mary will be going live. Please hop over to her channel and then maybe finish the rest of the hop with the resellers that are participating for the rest of the evening. If you didn't catch these on Thanksgiving Day, not to worry. Check out each of the videos. Typically, each reseller puts some sort of a pinned comment to keep a running tally of what's been claimed and what's still available so that you can still see if there's a lot to still have to shop from. So you can do all your Black Friday shopping on Thursday night in the comfort of your own home while you're hiding from your family. So thanks again for giving me your time. Thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Well, show me a sign if you're wishing me to stay. Otherwise, I say goodbye and finish out the day. And that sunrise in the morning and you got nothing to say. Oh, that's when I'll be headed on my way.